Hi YouTube, it's Rochelle Tannen. It's May 5th, 2022, around 9:25 Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys are doing well. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you guys for showing some love, so much love, because actually I'm a pretty camera shy person. I haven't gotten to editing and things because I don't like watching myself. So thank you so much because I know these are very raw. But I think I'm going to keep that raw guerrilla style 2009 YouTube feel, because everyone has intros and outros and everybody's so fancy. You guys have to understand, I just don't give a fuck. I no salt on those type of people, but I like the YouTube where you could just get up and speak your mind and people feel you without the bells and whistles. So that's really not my thing. I tried it, it's not my thing. But I jumped on because I just saw a video by the Comedian Scuhler King, who I find hilarious. He's doing his thing. He's on tour. Shout out to him. And I just pressed my hair, guys. I hate playing with my hair on camera, but it's bugging me. He's on tour. Big shout out to South Carolina. I love his state. I love the visit. From Greenville to Columbia. Shout out to Columbia. If you want to have a good time, you go to Columbia. Them girls know how to party. All the way to Myrtle Beach. Love South Carolina. He just did a video tonight called Stop Acting Young. And I want to piggyback off that because he's not the only one who's saying this. I've said this to people around my age. You know, in the last 6 months, I met two men, 135, 137. The 35-year-old had two sons by two different strippers. The 37-year-old had 4 kids, and you know, one that's not his, but he claims and takes care of, and all this other BS. These men are 37, 35, going on 17. And I keep running into this. Let's start here. The 35-year-old, those ethos, Ethica, whatever underwear that I see the young people wearing, I don't care if the young people are wearing them. And the young men with their little rear ends out, walking around thinking they look cool. And the girls wear the little matching sets. I'm with it. But if you are a 35-year-old grown man, what the fuck are you doing wearing them things? And this gentleman used to wear his pants off his behind because, as he told me, it matches his outfit. And like I told him, outfits are for women. Now, and if you guys don't believe me, Google it. Women wear outfits, men wear suits. Anyone who has style, they know that. Men don't wear outfits. So I told this man, 12-year-olds are wearing the same underwear. In addition to those underwear, I was written a space from this guy, and he had said, we were all talking, him, the 37-year-old, and myself. And he had said, well, I like these underwear, the Ethicas, but my balls stink. And I said to him, well, that's because they look like polyester, which they are. And any real trill G-ass nigga, male or female, no. For your vajayjay and the chain and balls, you should always keep cotton over your genitals because it breathes. And I understand at the time I'm in, a lot of niggas don't know that. But I told him you should be wearing those because it's good. They're polyester, they don't breathe, which for man or woman can cause yeast infections and all kind of infections, especially if you're wearing that shit in the summertime. So here you got a 35-year-old man wearing his pants off his behind, talking about his stinking balls, not knowing the difference of what underwear to wear. If I was a 35-year-old man with stinking balls, I wouldn't be as worried about my outfit, again, women wear outfits, as much as knowing the correct underwear to wear. The 37-year-old has 4 kids that he's struggling to take care of, but and this bugs me, but claims a 5th kid that isn't his. This nigga's 37 going 38 talking about he a rapper. He gonna be a rapper. Now, one of his baby's mothers is from the city, and one lives in another city in Pennsylvania. And he was crying one day about how his baby mother in the other city didn't understand that he needs to rent an Airbnb and he has to take a train to this city because he doesn't have his driver's license at 37, but still gonna be a rapper. And like I told him, 16-year-olds have their driver's license. He had money to go to strip clubs to perform, if you can call it that, because ain't nobody paying to see that lame nigga. This is what we're dealing with as far as 30-something-year-old men. And ladies, I'm going to get to you in a minute. Don't worry about it. And you 40-something-year-olds as well. The ones born in 80, 79. You niggas too. Time to grow the fuck up. If you didn't make it as a rapper at like 20 or younger, 25, there's not going to be a whole bunch of 2 Chainz. In case you haven't noticed, music's a young man's game. Young woman's game. As though it should be. Like a lot of things should be for younger people. You motherfuckers run around trying to follow younger people when we're supposed to be guiding them. I would never, ever, ever put when I know better, I'm not putting shit on hold to impress some young people. These young niggas should be trying to impress me. Same thing with you women. If you are past 30 and you're wearing, and I know a lot of women are going to get offended, but I don't give 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. It is one thing to be going to a wedding or a gala or somewhere fancy and you go get lash by lash eyelashes. Fine, I'm with that. But these fake glued on with weave glue, going to the nail shop paying Koreans obscene money to glue strip some shit on your eyelashes that you need. If you're over the age of 30, grow up. Grow the fuck up. Take that ugly shit off and let the 21-year-olds are supposed to be tacky. That's their thing. 25. My youngest sister, my dad, again, was married twice. I mentioned it in a lot last video. I'll probably mention it a lot. He's married twice. My father has 6 daughters between his 2 wives. I'm the second in line. I was born in 80. My last sister was born in 98. I am 18 years older than this young woman. And my second to last sister was born in 96. So when I see them wearing eyelashes, I'm like thinking to myself, wow, this is tacky. But I don't step on their toes. Because all of us was a little tacky. Look at the early 2000s, niggas. We thought we were styling in Von Dutch. It was dead serious. I have Von Dutch. I ain't ashamed. But I'm not mimicking her. My 25, 23-year-old sister, them wearing colorful weaves. Okay. Y'all were born in the late 90s. I got it. Anywhere in the 90s. But if you're 30 or better, you should be able to look and conduct yourself like an appropriate adult. Because you know better. If you remember Little Kim's Crush on You video, where Aaliyah up there doing her thing, Little Kim with her original nose, and you wore different color wigs back in the late 90s, please take that shit off your head and conduct yourself like a middle-aged woman. Then, maybe then, these young women will look up to you and take what you have to say seriously. Same thing with men. I'm 41. When I get compliments from these young guys, I always say I'm too old. I don't want to make them feel any kind of way by saying they're too young, because they're adult men and they're coming into themselves, but I'm too old. Me and a 25-year-old, 30-year-old, hell for me, even 35-year-old, I don't like dating younger men. They shouldn't be looking for mothers. Most bitches that are my age or older, around my age, you dating these 21-year-olds. Hell, I've heard bitches dating men, kids that ain't even legal yet, 17-year-olds and shit, being in their 30s. You're sad. And most of you women that gotta date these younger men is because you've hold out all around the men your age. And you can't keep no one your age. And you got babies left and right. So what do? You go try to mold these young men, who usually these young men are looking for mothers. They don't even know what having a real lover is and relationship is yet. They're looking for mothers because so many of the women, and this is just for black women particularly, have raised their sons and daughters in such a despicable manner in the last 30 years, 40 years. A lot of these young men are looking for that comfort of a mother, and they're young men, so their dicks are always hard. So they think they're getting the best of both worlds with these older women, and they're not. A lot of these older women are dealing with these young men because they ain't shit. Same thing with the men my age. I met men my age, well, this was a few years back, so I was in my 30s, around my age. Men that were approaching 40 maybe 5 years ago, you know. You got a 20-year-old daughter and you got a 24-year-old woman pregnant. It works both ways. It's not just for us women. It's a bad look on you nigga, you men too. Oh yeah, and I understand men that have a little bit of money or a lot of it. They like younger women. That's fine. I understand. It's part of the game. You're always gonna be young to somebody. But that's not what I'm talking about, because a lot of you niggas ain't got no money. That's why you're dating 20-year-old women, 22, 25, because you can get over on them, because the women my age, we know you ain't shit. We know you're living with your mother because you ain't shit, not because you're going through a hard time and all that shit. You run to that 25-year-old. You look silly. Let these young people have their time like you had yours. And for all of you that were parents in your 20s back in the late 90s, early 2000s, you chose to do that. But you don't get to relive your 20s in your 30s and your 40s. You look foolish. Hell, I'm hearing stories even in your fucking 50s. But I'll keep it to around my years. You don't get to relive your 20s because you decided to get pregnant. Because I remember people telling me in the early 2000s, when I was hitting 20, 22, 24, I remember male and females that were having multiple babies saying shit like this to me. At 22 now, I done everything, and I know ain't nothing down the street. I'm ready to settle down. Not knowing what the hell they were talking about. Now them same type of people, you in your early 40s with your butt tooted up, fucking twerking, looking like an idiot. You look like a fucking fool. I don't even like seeing the young chicks twerk all day, every day. That shit's for the club. That shit's for discretion. It shouldn't be some shit you do to celebrate and all this stuff like I've seen. I don't like to see young women twerking. But older women my age, I grew up on Janet Jackson as an entertainer. The Dream Girls, Karen White, dope women like Tisha Campbell. She's an actress. Well, she sings too. But the point is, the women I admired in entertainment never had to toot their butts up to get attention. So take your 40-something-year-old self, late 30s, because a lot of you are mothers after all, and present yourself like you got some goddamn sense. A lot of women my age, again, we weren't even raised at when twerking was a thing. Now, let me put a little asterisk there. If you're from Florida or Louisiana, or some persons out, but Florida, Miami-Dade, and Louisiana particularly, because I understand they used to call it bounce dancing back in the day. But even then, it was more underground. It wasn't mainstream, and it was women doing it in the club. And even then, it wasn't 40, 50-year-old women at the time because they had too much class. You know, I don't often agree with Kim Kardashian. I respect Kim Kardashian because, actually, I respect her mother. Her mother's smart. I got maybe this much respect for Kim Kardashian. I don't really pay her any mind. But since she's force-fed, I will give her props on this because she's an early 80s woman too. When she was asked if she twerked, like she said, I save my twerking for the bedroom. And I hate to give this to Kim Kardashian, but that was a classy statement. I don't care she had a sex video out. That was planned. That was marketed. She did that shit on purpose. But just being a woman every day, you notice ain't no other sex tapes come out. She knows what she's doing. But I thought that was really big of her to say, I save my twerking for the bedroom. I've said things to that nature and then, oh, you're just mad you can't twerk. Motherfucker, twerking blew up when I was in my mid-30s. No, I won't twerk. And I think too much of myself. I think too much of myself. No more than you'll see me like women my age or around my age taking the butt shot pictures. You don't even know what the fuck their face look like. But you know what their ass look like? Never. I know better. I was raised better than that. And a lot of you should want better. A lot of you women and men, you are parents. And if you're a 37-year-old man still trying to be a rapper, where does that leave the 21-year-old men? At 37, 35, 40, you should understand everyone's not going to be the star. Rap is not real. Rappers aren't real. The images aren't real. And that's a young person's game. Let these young people be in their 20s. See, this is why they have so much attitude and shit with older people. Because older people trying to step on their toes. Used to be back in the day, everyone wanted to make themselves a little older to get places and different things. Now you motherfuckers are trying to be 17 forever, 21 forever. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. That's life. But y'all keep it up. We're going to see where this shit leads. And this is just bugging me. I see why so many women play with their hair. Because you're not on camera a lot. And you want it to look straight. But It's just, it will bug you. But shout out to Scuhler King, guys. And again, thank you for all the love. I'll be back with more shorts and videos. I hope you guys have a very good Thursday evening. I know I'm about to. You guys stay safe or stay dangerous. I'm out of here.